Wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the latest research and what it means. And may or may not have heard this, and I just wanted to put my perspective, my take on it. So we know phthalates are endocrine disruptors, and that basically means they act like hormones in our blood. And we don't want additional hormones in our blood because we know that those can wreak havoc on our overall hormonal balance. So we know it can cause hot flashes. We know it can cause a slew of other symptoms, brain fog, things like that. But those are just symptoms. We also know it can lead down the road to the imbalance, to cancer, to heart disease, things like that, that we don't want to happen. And I don't say these things to scare you guys. I say these things because my goal, my obsession is basically to educate, inspire, guide you, support you, coach you, so that you know that you can get back to health, so you can start feeling great again. So we're exposed to these things all the time. I mean, in our environment, plastics, cash register receipts have BPA in them. So we're constantly exposed. So we need our bodies to be working well so that we can detox them out of our system. We thought at one point that the phthalates increase the risk of diabetes, but now we have evidence to show that. So a study that was published this year in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism shows an association between phthalates and diabetes, specifically in middle-aged white women. So if that's you, that's me, a lot of people I know, then this is something you want to kind of listen to. In general, they saw a doubling of certain phthalates that were associated with up to 60% higher incidence of diabetes. So wow, that is a huge percentage. So that doesn't mean you're going to get diabetes. That just means that those phthalates could cause that in your body. So let's see what that means. So endocrine disruptor could be ultra processed food, such as anything in a bag or a box that's not whole food, fresh food that you get in the perimeter of the store. It could be your cosmetics. It could be your skin lotions, your body lotions, your conditioners, your hand soap. It could be your, as I said, cash register receipt, the water bottle that you drink out of, the plastics that you use to store your food in. And when we see phthalates everywhere, the good news is there's things you can do about it, okay? We have those in our environment. So unless we live in a bubble, which we don't want to live in a bubble, that's no fun. There's things we can do about it. So what can you do? Tip the scale in your favor. So tip the scale back to wellness and further away from dis-ease or disease, right? So use cleaner products. There's a number of lines I love. If you want to hear more about those, drop a link below. Go to my website, Be Well with Colette. I share a lot of the products that I love on there, and the brands and stuff like that. Not everything, but Suzanne Organics is one brand I absolutely love. Get rid of plastic as much as you can. We have some here. We use those sometimes for traveling because it's unavoidable sometimes. I try to use glass as much as possible, or make sure the plastics I'm using are different plastics. Keeping your liver healthy. The liver is responsible for detoxing all of these endocrines and other things out of the body. And it's also responsible in all of hormonal balancing. So if your liver is not working at high functioning, there could be some potential problems. So make sure your liver is functioning well. And if you're having anything that you need help with, reach out to me. Because there's a lot of things you can do, from a diet, lifestyle, supplements, those types of things to make sure that your liver is working optimally. Eating plenty of fiber to basically pull those toxins out of your system. Fiber, we get in fruits, vegetables, high fiber foods. Eating organic, especially the dirty dozen that we've referred to, because the rest of the food is sprayed with pesticides, which is an endocrine disruptor. So that dirty dozen is probably the most important. So If it's a cost thing, focus on those first. Things that have hard shells like avocados and things like that, you don't have to worry as much about. Um, but these are just some of the things that you can be doing. I would love to know if there's anything else you can think of, and also what you plan to do. Based on what you know about what I just said, what is your next step? So, my next step is to go around, and I've already done it, is make sure there's no other plastics I can get rid of. My second thing that I'm going to be doing, knowing this latest research, and I've kind of already done this, is anything in my house that's a chemical, I basically have gotten rid of. I've changed over probably a good 15 years. If you need some tips, drop them below. Um, let's see what else. All of my nail polishes, all the makeup, all that I redid. So this isn't an overnight thing, and I get that. Like some people, this is like too expensive, right? You might say, just what is one thing you can do that is going to reduce your risk? And maybe it's something you can do for your liver too. Um, let's see. Those are the two things that I'm going to be doing. So just let me know the one step you're going to take today or tomorrow. Okay.